Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're coming to you live from Congregation Bethel in Missouri City / Sugarland. As we've been doing for the past 16 days, we've been sharing with you a short little idea that relates to the counting of the Omer of that day. And last night we counted the 16th. So tonight we're going to be counting the next night. And we're going to talk about way number 17 that our sages in the Mishnah, in Ethics of Our Fathers, Pirkei Avot, in chapter 6, Mishnah 6, share with us 48 incredible tools to maximizing life and to maximizing pleasure. One of those things we discussed this morning is limited business, meaning it has to have a balance. It has to have a balance. You can't be all business. Because if you're all business, you're not going to be able to spend time with your family. You're going to neglect your body. You're going to neglect your other responsibilities. So therefore, there has to be balance. The next idea, which is the one we're going to talk about tonight, is a balance when it comes to intimacy. Right? That also has to be something which has a balance. Because if there's no balance, a person will go crazy. Right? There has to be a normal balance when we're dealing with with pursuing intimacy and those areas. So life is pleasure. Okay? Every second of life is pleasure. Right? And we need to make sure that in our entire lifetime we are investing in real pleasure. There are fleeting pleasures. There are counterfeit pleasures. But are there pleasures that we can be immersed in that are real pleasures at all times? And that is sometimes overlooked because people are looking for momentary pleasure. People are looking for fleeting pleasures, and they're not ready to invest the time and the due diligence to having real pleasure, right? Real pleasure, which is something which is lasting, something which is not a momentary, fleeting pleasure. So in marriage, there has to be a balance. We've discussed this numerous times, the incredible wisdom embedded into a Jewish household of how we keep a balance between a physical and emotional relationship so they can complement each other. Because if a relationship only has the physical aspect, it's worthless. And if a relationship has the harmony of the physical and the emotional and the spiritual components, right? Then it becomes absolute bliss. And that's really what we want. So we have to make sure that every relationship has that balance. Now, the term used for this is the term called derech eretz, okay? Which generally, I don't want to literally translate it because you'll say, how did you get to this conclusion that it's referring to intimacy? But it also means the way of the land, the way of the land. And that also our sages refer to as being educated. Right? It is important. The Jewish people have always been embedded in the world of education. While other nations were illiterate, while other nations had no education whatsoever, the Jewish people are known as the people of the book. We have always had education. We've always had knowledge. But even then, there has to be a balance. Because we tend many times to have people who have tremendous knowledge but don't have practical experience in life, right? So that doesn't either help us. There has to be a balance. And that is the conclusion for way number 17 in a very, very abbreviated edition. But for our friends out there who are interested in an in-depth study of the 48 ways, you're welcome to join us here at Congregation Bethel every Thursday night at 7:30, together with the incredible people here at Congregation Bethel. because we're doing an in-depth study of the 48 ways. We're beginning tonight. So if you'd like the recording, you're welcome to email me for that. That's not going to be on live broadcast. You have to be here to hear it. So with that, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. Please like and share this video to your friends on Facebook so that we can all be partners in spreading Torah across the globe. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.